Well, aloha to everyone that is sharing this beautiful, beautiful day with us from afar. My name is Kelehua, and it is a privilege and honor to be here celebrating Christina and Troy on their beautiful Hawaiian wedding day. I'd like to begin with an Oli Aloha. It's a welcome chant in Hawaiian language. Akahaina Hawaii Lo kahi aku like Olu olu kamana'o Ha'a koku lana Ahonui alana kila Aloha Aloha. I'd like to add with that a blessing or pule, as we say in Hawaiian. E koma koma kua I loko kalani, e mahalo ka ko yaoi no keia la, a me na po'e a pau, e olu olu e ho'o mai ka I oe keia kane, a me kia wahine, ma ko laua male ana. Ke no noi ha'a nei ka kono na pu'u vai ma kau kau mau. E ha'awi I ke aloha nui, ma kainoa o koma koma kua a me Yesu a me ka'u haneha molele. Amen. I want to talk about a word that I hope in the time that you've been here, until the moment that you depart and every day thereafter, that you've experienced and will continue to experience. And that word is aloha. And I'm sure you've heard of it. We grow up learning it to mean hello, goodbye, greetings, and I love you. But the meaning that I want to share today is very special and very appropriate for why we're here. If you take the word aloha and you split it in half, alo means to stand face to face, sharing something with someone that you love. And you're going to do that in just a moment. Ha is your breath, your spirit, your life. And later in the ceremony, the honi honi or the Hawaiian kiss is so special because it's the sharing of your breath, your life, your love with this person that you've come so very far with. And I think you would agree with me that you have come truly far in the 2-year span of knowing one another. And not only that, you've come over land and sea to get here for your perfect Hawaiian wedding day. But the word aloha can be broken down a little further also, and each letter in the word stands for a word in the Hawaiian language that has to do with what love is all about. And so to begin, as I chanted you down the aisle, this chant, the Oli Aloha, explains 5 key pieces that you've no doubt used in your journey to get here today. And I hope that these resonate with you. Each letter is very special. The first A stands for akahai, or kindness, and that's where love began. So if we go back to that very first encounter at the event, the fundraiser, I would imagine that among the many qualities that you noticed about each other initially, one of those was kindness. And that's a very important quality in enduring relationships. The L stands for lokahi, or unity, togetherness, and that's how love survives and endures over time. The O for olu olu, or gentleness and compassion, and the H for ha'a, or humility. The last A stands for aho nui, and the last line of the chant says, aho nui a lanakila. With patience comes the victory. And the two of you stand here today victorious. Because regardless of where you've been, how long or bumpy the road may or may not have been, nothing will be the same after today. You'll always have this person standing by your side, holding your hand and walking you through whatever season life may bring. And as we all now can attest to, life can bring some pretty incredible seasons. Yes. Ones that we look back on and remember fondly and embrace in our minds, and some that just knock us over on our side and make us go, what just happened? But that concept seasons is so important, I think, to grasp, because that's what life is, it's seasons. And so here you are in 2021 saying I do to your best friend that's standing next to you. And today your search is over, and though it's been over for some time, you found the person to spend the rest of your life with. And the beauty in that is that you have a choice, a decision, and it's one of the biggest decisions that we get to make in our lifetime. Because if you think about it, we don't have the opportunity to choose our families. Our families are something we're given, children something we're gifted, but our spouse, our partner, that person we get to choose with free will, with intention, and with purpose. And you stand here today doing exactly that. And generations from now, after many years have passed, someone will look at your family history, your genealogy, and although they will have never met you and not have been among all of us today, they're going to see two names and a line drawn between those two names, symbolizing this very moment in history. So this day, this hour, this year, where two completely separate family trees are becoming one. This is your legacy, this is your heritage. And so it's something to be very proud of. What I want you to do is I want you to turn toward your bride, and I'm going to take your flowers, and I want you to hold hands. And I want you to think about this for a moment. Here in Hawaii, we receive a lot of rain. And what I want you to do, Troy, is to take a step to your right. Good. And depending on when you got here, you may have seen some of the rain. It's kind of, but not today. It's perfect today. But the reason I talk about the rain is this. It's what makes everything so green and lush and beautiful. The mountains, the Waianae range behind us, the Ko'olaus over toward the east. It's what makes everything so green and beautiful. And the reason I talk about that is because when you come to points in your relationship when it starts to rain, when the road is a little bumpier than normal, the path a little windier, you remember that you just have to get through the rainy times to get to the most beautiful parts of your relationship with one another. Where suddenly you look at this person that stands before you and you realize because of those hard times, how much stronger and how much wiser you are. First for you and therefore for the person that stands before you. You realize because of those times you have gained more love, peace, patience, kindness, understanding, maybe even more self-control, and never to be forgotten, grace, mercy, and forgiveness. Last but not least, a greater sense of humor. And I hope in 2 years you have found yourself laughing a lot more.
You don't laugh at all.
Especially at your blunders. I mean, first you need to laugh at yourself and then be able to laugh with one another. Sometimes that's tough for certain people. And so be able to say 2 words that can also be challenging for some personalities. I'm sorry. Practicing that and be able to say, I dropped the ball. I'm so sorry. That was me. And if you're on the receiving end of those, be able to say that. I forgive you. That's okay. I got you, babe. It takes practice. And all because of that rain, you're stronger and better together. What I want you to do now is to take a brief walk down memory lane as I ask you to think back to the very first day that your journey together started. I want you to think back to the first time you saw this person's face. And you were introduced, yeah? Yeah. I want you to think back to your very first date, about 6 months later, yeah? And do you remember where you went and who drove? And if you went out to eat, what you ordered?
You couldn't throw an axe, so I was safe.
I
couldn't throw an axe, I was safe.
Awesome. Never forget those details. I want you to think back, here's one, to your very first kiss. Do you remember who leaned in first and where you were? I want you to think back to the moment that you felt your heart choose this person to give your life to, the moment that you were sure and the moment that you knew that your partner was sure also, that exciting moment. I want you to think back to every beautiful, amazing moment that led you to this very spot. Right here on this beautiful beach where the sand you can squeeze between your toes. The ocean is behind you. There's a gentle trade wind through our hair. The trees are dancing above and the sun is shining down on your perfect day. In Hawaiian culture, we honor our loved ones with lei for every special occasion. Birthdays, retirements, promotions, graduations, they're piled up to the forehead, and of course, weddings. And so what I want you to do is I want you to join your hands just as they are in between your lei. Okay? Once again, join your hands. Good. And then Troy, take one slight step to your right. There you go. Actually, this way. My bad. Yeah. Okay. And I want you to look at your lei for just a moment. Each seed and shell and nut and flower that go into a lei represent the things that make you special and unique. These are the things that you fell in love with each other for. The things that make you laugh, the things that make you cry, the things that make you sigh and giggle. Once in a while, maybe roll your eyes, grumble, maybe not. These are the things though that make you you, that make you who you are. And as you present your lei to each other, what you're saying to each other is, I give you everything that I have and everything that I am. And I thank you for accepting me for exactly who and exactly how I am. And I thank you for growing up alongside me through the past seasons and the many more that are to come. And what I like to do using water from the ocean for our Pikai ceremony is I'd like to bless in some parts of the island, the fresh water from the Ko'olau flows down and mixes with the salt water, and it was a place where Hawaiians would go for healing and purification, okay? So I would like to bless your lei for the past, the present, and the future. And in true Hawaiian fashion, I want you to place your lei over one another's head and neck and give each other a kiss
You hold
on the cheek. Tom.
Yeah, then you gotta put that over my head.
All right. Well, what I'd like you to do now is to repeat after me your Hawaiian vows, because it wouldn't be a Hawaiian wedding ceremony if you didn't speak a little Olelo Hawaii. So I promise to go really slow, and you're going to repeat after me
Together?
at the same time.
Okay.
Yep. You're going to say Eia Ao,
Eia ao.
Eia Oi,
Eia oi.
Ika,
Ika.
Ho'i Ho,
Oiko.
Ke Aloha,
Ke aloha.
No Kau,
No cow.
A Kau,
A cow.
E Kipa Mai,
Ea kipa mai.
Ke Aloha,
Ke aloha.
Aloha Vau,
Aloha vau.
Ya Oi.
Ya oi.
Do you want to know what you just said to each other? Let's find out. What exactly did you promise each other? This is what you said. You said, Eyao, here I am. Eia oi, and here you are. I ka ho'i ho ke aloha, as we are surrounded by our love. No kaua kau for all of time. E kipa mai ke aloha, let us remember to invite love back in. Aloha vau ya oi means, for it is you that I love. Okay? And what I want you to do now, Troy, is I want you to take the ring that's going to go on your hand, and you're going to give that to Christina. Okay? And Tom, I want you to hold up, bring your hand forward and down. Good, just like that. And with your left hand, you're going to place his ring halfway on his finger. Perfect. And you're going to hold it right there, because I have the privilege of blessing the past, the present, and to a beautiful, beautiful future. Okay. And I want you to repeat after me as you look at your groom. You're going to say to him, this vow is my promise.
This vow is my promise.
And this ring, my gift of love for you.
This ring, my gift of love for you.
With all that I have.
With all that I have.
And all that I am.
And all that I am.
I promise to always.
I promise to always.
Be faithful and honest.
Faithful and honest.
Patient and kind.
Patient and kind.
I will believe in you.
I will believe in you.
I will believe in us.
I will believe in us.
Because love never fails.
Because love never fails.
Wherever our paths take us.
Wherever our paths take us.
We go together.
We go together.
For all of my days.
For all of my days.
I give myself to you.
I give myself to you.
You're going to place the ring all the way on his finger.
There we go.
Make that fit.
All right. Now what I'd like you to do is to take the rings that are going to go on Christina's hand. Christina, I want you to hold up your ring hand. Yep, just like that. And you're going to place the ring halfway on her finger. And then just bring your, yeah, that is perfect. And you can lift up your hand just right under this hand right here underneath. Yeah, perfect. And I would love the privilege of blessing the past, the present, and to a beautiful future. Troy, if you'll repeat after me, as you look at your bride, you're going to say to her, this vow is my promise.
This vow is my promise.
And this ring, my gift of love for you.
And my ring, this gift of love to you.
With all that I have.
With all that I have.
And all that I am.
And all that I am.
I promise to always.
I promise to always.
Be faithful and honest.
Be faithful and honest.
Patient and kind.
Patient and kind.
I will try really hard.
I'm not that patient, sorry.
Yeah.
Forgive me. Yeah,
that takes,
patient and kind.
I will believe in you.
I believe in you.
I will believe in us.
I believe in us.
Because love never fails.
Because I love you with all my heart.
Wherever our paths
take us.
We go together.
We go together.
For all of my days.
All my days.
I give myself to you.
Give myself to you.
And you're going to place the ring all the way on her finger.
Ride or die.
Hey, it fits.
On there. You.
You guys are doing a fantastic job. In Hawaiian culture, sand is also a very important part, and we use the term one hanau, and that means sands of my birth, and that talks a little bit about where one is from and who they are. And so what I want to do is give you each a satchel of sand, okay? And I want you to look at your sand for just a moment. Your individual sand is made of the same material, but each grain is unique and special, just as you are unique and special to this person that stands before you, kind of like we talked about with your lei. And so what I want you to do is to symbolically pour out your hearts to one another as you open your satchels and pour your sand at the same time into this larger bag.
Don't rush. Don't rush me. Ready?
Ready.
And your satchels will go right inside. Perfect. Okay. You're going to close up your bag. And I want you to look at your sand for just a moment. Your individual sand has mixed, never to be separated again, just as you shall never be separated from one another. And you'll have a little bit of the beach to take home with you to remind you of your vows and your promises to one another on this beautiful, beautiful day. Okay. And I'm going to take the sand for you because we've come to the most intimate and sacred part of the ceremony, the honi honi, the Hawaiian kiss. And this is where the word aloha truly comes from. Alo, to stand face to face, sharing something with someone you love. Ha, your breath, your spirit, your life. Oftentimes around Polynesia, we'll see folks greet one another with the honi honi. And so what I want you to do is to gently place your foreheads and your noses together. You're going to close your eyes and just breathe. Ho'onani kamakua mau keiki me ka'uhane no ke akua mau ho'omai ka'ipu ko ke ya'au ko ke lau amene. I want you to take a deep breath in and release. And as you stand back and look at each other, I have the most important question of the day to ask each of you. Christina, do you take this man to be your husband, your partner, your best friend, and most special companion all the days of your life?
I do.
Troy, do you take this beautiful woman to be your wife, your partner, your best friend, and your most special companion all the days of your life?
course I do.
Then by the power vested in me here in the state of Hawaii, it is most certainly my privilege, my pleasure, and my honor to present you. As husband and wife, you may kiss your bride. One more big hug and kiss.
I love you.
I love you so
I
much.
love you more.
I love you the most.
You're such a dork.
All right. You have a wonderful audience and everyone. If you want to say something to your
Thank you. Thank you, everybody at home. We love you. Thanks for joining us. Andrew, Alex, we love you with all our hearts. Everyone, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry it's a crazy time and we couldn't be with you all, but we'll eventually celebrate and party and do our thing. Glad you could watch.
Thank you for joining us on our special day. We love you.
Aloha.
Aloha. Or mahalo.
Mahalo.
All right.